Welcome to the Total Tees podcast. Thank you for joining us. Today we've got some really cool tracks for you guys. This first band is called Crux, and this is their song Big Market. And it mentions Newcastle Brown, so it can't exactly be a bad track, right? Surely. So I hope you enjoy it.
We'll trudge through the wilderness for our Turkish delights. We've had so much Nuki brew, we are losing our sights. Lasses wearing skirts so short it's hard now to stir. The animal comes out in this at the meat market fair. Heroes turning into villains. Big market! Heroes turning into villains. Big market! Heroes turning into villains. Big market! Heroes turning into villains. Important, independent individuals. Important, independent individuals. Important, independent individuals. Important, independent individuals. Some lads go out just looking for a nasty fight. Reel him in with a fishing line, he will bite. Scrapping fashion, passion, yet Darwin's thoughts are still bold. A seed of flesh, but it's our cause we can't feel cold. It's human nature. Big markets, human nature. Big markets, human nature. Big markets, human nature. Important, independent individuals. Important, independent individuals. Important, independent individuals. Important, independent individuals. We're in the self-stagnated, but we're going nowhere. We're miles from Mars, but yeah, we know life is no fair. A clear mind to redefine, resign to be blind. Classic lights and VIP passes. We're in the big market. Big market. Big market. Big market.
Once again, that was Crux with Big Market. Crux are a Newcastle-based band, and that's a pretty killer track, to be honest. So thank you for your submission there, guys. You're listening to the Total Tees podcast's first music show, and in fact, this is our first proper show at all. So I thought I'd start off by talking about how we're going to do this show. So there is going to be a new show released every 2 weeks on a Friday, and it is going to alternate between the music show, which is this, where I play music, promote people's gigs, and generally talk bollocks. And there's the other show, which will be the guest show, which will also feature some talking bollocks, presumably, in which we will have bands on, and that was the original idea of the show. If you want to check out some of our interview shows, we do have a couple of demo shows out with Steve Oswinsko and Liam Truick. I'm glad to have my hearing back so that I can actually do the show, to be honest. I spent a good couple of days this week almost completely deaf. I've been needing my ears syringed for like over a year or so I started using my eardrops again and literally just went like almost fully deaf for like maybe a day and a half sort of length of time. It wasn't a pleasant experience. Let's hope that's never permanent. Luckily, my hearing is back now, so thankfully I can hear some of these lovely tracks that you people have been submitting. A lot of these tracks are from Newcastle, which is surprising because we are a borough-based show, but we do not discriminate. It is total tease after all, and the tease in the name is more of a sex joke than a limitation on what we're willing to play. So we'll play music from anywhere. If you're from Idaho, we'll play your tracks, whatever you want. So we've got some cool stuff to talk about on the show today. Last Saturday I went to Shine Brighter, which was a really cool networking event organised by Jamie Donnelly from Be Quiet Shout Loud, and I'm really glad I forced myself to go along to that. It was a really cool opportunity to get out and meet people in the scene, especially people you wouldn't normally talk to. There was like publishers there and people from Narc magazine, and it was really cool to meet you all. I really appreciate you spending your time with us, guys, and thanks to Jamie from Be Quiet Shout Loud for organising that. One band I did meet while I was there were called Uncle Dude Man. I really like the name. It sounds like something me and my mates would have come up with in school or college or something. So I got in touch with them to see if they wanted their track playing on the show. I'm assuming you're not supposed to pronounce the 11 in the name here. I'm pretty sure that's meant to be a diagram of some legs. This is a track called Legs.
Call your legs 11, but we've heard the rest as well. Mind over matter, but the matter is your mind. And in the lonely hearts, but they treat you so unkind. If you were mine, I'd treat you right. A face made in heaven, but a brain fortune hell. Excuse me, little floozy, but I'm onto your spell. Here's your return on that, see you later. Come over here and shake your money maker. You got me shooting off way too soon. I'm on the edge of glory, holding the wall. How low can you go? Open up your mouth, it's time to say hello.
that was Uncle Dude Man with Legs. They're relatively new to the scene, but they seem like really solid lads. I feel like I did that millennial oversharing thing and just ranting on about my own struggles in getting a band when I was speaking to them. So I hope I didn't freak you out, guys. Thanks for your support on the show. Thanks for submitting your track. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about some gigs that are happening this Friday, which will be the evening that this show comes out. So, this evening, I feel like I'm in the future now. There is a show at Doc Brown's where the Lulas are headlining, which is a fascinating revelation for people because it means Doc Brown's isn't sexist anymore. Of course, they came under heavy fire for the whole sexism thing probably about a year or so ago now, maybe even longer. And they actually got new owners from that. So the Lulas are playing with Raising Romulus and Gary Wright. That's hosted by Goose Records. So that should be a cool evening. Also, Heel Turn and Dave's are on in the Chapel of Empire at Fang. They should not have renamed Sumo. Fang is just nowhere near the same thing. Do you want to go to Fang tonight? Do you want to go to Sumo tonight? Do you want to go to Fang tonight? It doesn't have the same ring to it at all. Anyhow, that is everything I've got for this Friday night. I know there are more shows on, so have a look about, but they're the only ones I've really been told about. So next up we have another band. These aren't just from Newcastle, these are from Hartlepool Borough in Newcastle. This is The Strawberry Mind with their track Hidden. That was The Strawberry Mind and their track Hidden. You're spelling The with two E's and you're spelling Mind with an E on the end as well. Strawberry is just a strawberry. But if you're after finding anybody in the show, their social links should be posted everywhere where you can find the show. So hopefully it should be too hard to find. These Strawberry Mind, Hartlepool, Borough and Newcastle band. They need a fourth piece from Sunderland, I reckon, and then you've got like someone from everywhere, more or less. So before the next track, I'm going to talk about gigs this weekend. There is a lot going on this Saturday. There's a lot going on Friday night as well, for that matter. So there is Swears at Sticky Fingers this Saturday, and there is also Jeff Stock 2 at the Westgarth this Saturday. That features the Amazing Space Frogs, Zero Negative, All Out Attack, Smashy Smashy, Eggman, and James Harrison doing an Alienate acoustic set. I'll never forget when Alienate first came together. I wanted like a synthesizer project called Alienator, and I was like, well, I can't do it now. So on to the next track, I suppose. This is a killer track by a band called 1080 Trees. They're from Newcastle again, and Sheffield. And I really feel like it's got this whole sort of, the vocals in the verse at least have got this really strong sort of 80s feel for me. Like it sounds like Dave Garn from Depeche Mode in the 80s or maybe even the early 90s. I could believe these vocals on sort of Songs of Faith and Devotion kind of stuff. The music itself is a bit more rocky than Depeche Mode. It's probably more like other 80s artists in that way. But yeah, generally it is a really cool track. This is 1080 Trees with Casual Habits.
Does the heart profit little from these casual habits that consume the day-to-day? Or does the heart profit not? There's an obstacle I've got here to overcome. It's a sign they're not all is said and done in time. I'm not done the feeling. I just need something from time to time. So when emotions through, all you can't go without. Can you go without? Can you go without it now? Can you go without all you do? Without this what you told me now. Under my peaks and cross to the vanity parade. Wish I find myself waylaid to the fallacy of wanting the one I can't. It's a sign they're not all is said and done in time. Are we out of time this time? I'm not done the feeling. I just need something from time to time. So when emotions through, all you can't go without. Can you go without? Can you go without it now? Can you go without all you do? Without this what you told me now. What you told me now. I'm not done the feeling. I just need something from time to time. So when emotions through, all you can't go without. Can you go without? Can you go without it now? Can you go without all you do? Without this what you told me now. 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 I'm not done the feeling.
That was 1080 Trees with Casual Habits, and didn't I tell you that that is a killer track? So now we're on about gigs and stuff for the next month or so. This is basically between Friday night and the 14th of next month, which will be when the next music show is broadcast. And if you would like to be featured on the next music show, please email wehaveatechnicalpodcast@gmail.com with your track, or message the Total Tees Facebook page. Please send us a downloadable link, and please send us a free one. We'd love to pay you for your music, but we can't afford that unless you guys make us big. So, what have we got coming up for the next month? The Bullets and Octane UK tour. They are hitting a lot of places in the UK. They are one of my favourite bands, and once upon a time I thought I would never actually be able to see them. I thought they'd never come over to the UK, but luckily they've had a bit of a rebirth with a phenomenally good new lineup, and I've been able to see and speak to them on 2 instances. I don't think I'm going to get out to see them on this tour, but if you have an opportunity to see them, I know they've got shows in Newcastle and I think Leeds, so if you're local to there, please do check them out. If nothing else, you'll get a couple of laughs out of it, because they are genuinely funny, genuinely lovely guys. Just make sure you don't let the lead singer follow your lass on Instagram like I did. What else we got going on? A couple of shows with Neon Waves, USMF and Dreams of the Sun at Music Lounge on the 8th of June. That's a show I'll probably be attending. Dreams of the Sun featuring Liam Truick, who has also got a show on, I think, the 14th of June. I think that is a solo show. Liam Truick was our first guest on our first demo show, so we really do appreciate that. His name will probably come up multiple times on the show, as will Bullets and Octane. On the same night as his solo show there on the 14th of June, I believe it's Any Volume's 4th birthday, so that should be a cracking evening as well. And obviously the main thing we've got to talk about in this section is Big Weekend. Now that is going to be a huge thing next Saturday. I really feel like something daft is going to happen. I feel like there's an 85% chance that people are going to ruin it, but I mean, hopefully it's going to be a really good time. I'm really not interested in any of the artists there, so it really should be a very intriguing weekend for me, but obviously you've got to do these things. I mean, it's the biggest show Borough's probably ever going to have. So yeah, that's going to be really good. On the evening of the Saturday is AEW's Double or Nothing event. That will be broadcast on ITV4. I don't want to sound like an absolute mark, but that could change the face of wrestling, and I genuinely hope it does, because wrestling is in such a dark place right now. Couldn't let the show go without mentioning it though. That does remind me, there is another thing on this Saturday which I completely forgot to mention. It is a Rise Underground Pro Wrestling event featuring Heel Turn, and I think there might be other live music there. But yeah, that should be really cool. That is something that is probably going to be worth checking out. I think that is everything I needed to talk about though between now and the next music show. I do feel like I should probably do the music shows more often than once a month, but obviously we need the tracks submitting to be able to do the show at all. And if there's any pressing gigs and stuff, I suppose we can always mention it on the guest show. Releasing more than one music show a month would probably result in releasing one show a week, which kind of feels unfeasible at this point, but you'd never know. If the show gets more popular, we might be able to up the amount of broadcasts we do, and the only way we can get popular is by you guys helping us out with that. So if you're enjoying the show, please do take a moment to share it with your friends and everything. And thanks for watching this far. Like, I mean, we're 24 minutes in now. Really do appreciate it if you've got this far. So the last thing I've got to talk about that's coming out over the next month or so is a single released on the 24th, and I've been asked by the band to review this, so I will be doing that after the track plays. This is Parallax Skies with Strike It Lucky. Now again, I feel like there's some obvious 80s synth pop influences in this song. Is this a thing in Newcastle at the moment? Because there seems to be a recurring 80s synth poppy theme going on here. Anyhow, this is Parallax Skies with Strike It Lucky. This single will be released on the 24th, and it is a great track.
Been looking forward to the end again.
I think I like that track more every time I listen to it. It's a phenomenal track. It's so deep. There's so much to it and everything. So Parallax Skies just played Hit the North Festival, which I actually knew nothing about, but I suppose was before this was due to be recorded regardless, so never mind on that one. They are playing at Think Tank on June the 8th in Newcastle. Listen guys, if you're ever playing a show in Borough, please do let me know, because I'm very happy to come along to that. Have you ever played a show with any of these other Newcastle artists? Because that could be pretty nice. Because, I mean, back to the track for a second, I think there's a really exciting sound that's coming out here. You know, as I said at the start, I hadn't heard of these bands before they submit the tracks. And these are some incredibly exciting songs that are coming out. And I really like the way this is going. There is so much going on in the North music scene at the moment. It is incredibly exciting. One idea I've had for the future, if the show sort of gets that far, is doing like compilations of old tracks and our favourite tracks and stuff like that. And I think that track just now is going to be one of those instant classic type things. You know, it's probably not the last time that is ever going to be showed on this show. So if you want to use an official review from Total Tease podcast, we're going to say it's brilliant. We're going to say it's exciting. We're going to say it's an instant hit. We really like that track, and we really appreciate everything you've sent over to us. You've sent us the track, you've sent us the press pack, you've sent us your logo, promotion photos, all that kinds of stuff. Obviously, they're not much use to us in the podcast, but I will say that if you're building towards an EP or an album or anything like that, we are operating under this policy that if you send us a physical copy of your album or EP or whatever, we will review it on our WordPress. And it'll probably get a mention on the show as well. This idea came from a black metal artist called Winter Webb, who sent us their most recent EP. So I thought I'd do a write-up on that, and then I just thought, hey, this is something we could offer. So yeah, if you send us a physical copy of whatever it is you've made, we are willing to do a write-up of that. So please just message the page with the details. So again, that was Parallax Skies with Strike It Lucky. That single is officially released on the coming 24th. But as for the show, that's basically it. That's basically everything we had to go over at the moment. So 2 weeks from now, on the 31st, we are hoping to upload our interview show with Chrome, which I'm sure is going to be a really funny evening. Alec Pefford has assured me that he is not going to give me an easy interview, so that should be interesting if nothing else. So I really hope you've enjoyed the show. If you have done, please check out our SoundCloud if you're not there already, which is the primary way to listen to the show, so I'd hope you're there. SoundCloud.com/Total Tease Podcast. You can find our Facebook page by searching Total Tease Podcast, because hopefully there isn't two, although we have had that issue before. Again, if you want to check out any of the artists, their social links will be posted everywhere that you can find the show. If you would like your music featured on the show, all you have to do is email a downloadable link to wehaveatechnicalpodcast@gmail.com or inbox it to the Total Tease Facebook page. The same goes for any gigs or anything you've got on that you would like to promote. Just drop us a message and we'll mention it on the next show. So again, thank you for watching, and to play us out, this is Post Rome with a wonderful track called God. Or maybe it's G-O-D. It's spelled out G-O-D. Post Rome, the message said Sunderland, the page said North East 3-piece. Don't know really. I guess it could be from anywhere, but I've got to assume they're from Sunderland. Anyway, the track, it sounds to me like something that I'd have heard on the radio when I was a kid, maybe late 90s, early 2000s kind of stuff, but it's very unique in its own way. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the show. This has been the Total Tease Podcast. Goodbye.